Welcome back to the channel. Today what I'm going to be talking about is the Pittsburgh Pro and the 15, I think it's 15 or 16 competitors that are going to be in that show. You got William Bonac, you got Derek Lunsford, you also have Goodvito, you got Nick Walker, and those are the ones that's going to be at the top of the line. And for some reason or another, people are talking about Goodvito being able to beat Nick Walker. If Nick Walker can come in like he normally do when he competes, then there's no way Goodvito is going to be able to beat him. Goodvito have a pretty good symmetrical type physique, but he really don't have the detail that he shows on the gram and things like that, simply because it said that all of his photos are enhanced, giving him the illusion of being in better shape than he really is. Nick Walker, normally what you see on his page is pretty much what you get on stage. So, you know, Nick Walker have had his share of issues and problems, hamstrings. I think it was his hamstring. Him not saying he's going to compete, then don't compete. But I think a lot of that had to do with more or less him trying to come in too big. And when you try to come in too big for that small frame that he have, you're gonna pretty much have issues. Like, he lost complete control over his midsection. His midsection, like I told you before, you know, the guy was maxed out. I told you he was maxed out. And it was no way he was going to get any more muscle on that little bit of frame. Just like when William Bonac was in his heyday. You know, he was, you know, maxed out. The only thing about it is like I said, he started having those issues later on, trying to get himself together. But once you reach your size limit, it's best to stay there and try to do it through conditioning. You look at guys like Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson himself was that was his Achilles heel, being the same all the time. So people always want more and more, but once you reach your potential, that's pretty much it. And he never gave himself a chance being smaller, Nick Walker, and coming in peeled to try and see would that package work. You know, he just drove himself crazy trying to get bigger, and that right there pretty much blew him out of the water, which all he had to do was just, you know, keep that conditioning and go ahead on come in. But it's said now that he's coming in smaller. He looked like he's smaller, and I've looked at some of the photos. He definitely looked like he's smaller, but he's going to have to bring that old school conditioning that he had when he first started out and all the hoopla was over him then. He got to have that same conditioning. And if he can't bring that, then, you know, it's up in the air on whether or not how he's going to place high or not. But so far, he looked like his conditioning is on par. I just can't see Goodvito beating him, because the guy is not as good as his photos say he is, from what everybody is saying. Now, we know that Derek Lunsford is not going to be beat. Like I said, this guy would have to drop the ball 2 times before he loses to Nick Walker or Goodvito. So we're looking for Derek Lunsford to win. 1 and 2, I'm looking for Nick Walker. 3, simply because of the shape. You know, I think Goodvito would take 3rd. You know, the top 3, top 4 is going to be kind of like in you know, in the air, because we really don't know how William Bonac is gonna look like. So it is what it is. Anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.